Hello, Zabeeps, and welcome to another podcast by Mr. Phillips, P to the fourth power. This is just a reminder, there's no homework tonight. Relax. Also, there is no 10-question EOC review packet this week. Also, there is no EOC quiz this week. Mr. Phillips will keep an eye out for the week 5 scores. These students should keep an eye out for a test next week on chapter 4. The question of the day: do you like relish? Alrighty guys, this is going to be lesson 5.1. Write linear equations in slope-intercept form. Please write down, this is lesson 5.1. Write linear equations in slope-intercept form. Do a couple examples today. Here's example number 1. Use slope and y-intercept to write an equation. So basically they're going to give you a slope with a -2 and a y-intercept of 5. They want us to write an equation if we have a slope of -2 and a y-intercept of 5. Please write down the equation. Y equals mx plus b. That is our equation for slope-intercept form. Don't forget that this equation will be on your reference sheet, so you do not have to memorize it. You do not have to memorize it. Alrighty, here we go. I'm going to write y equals mx plus b. They're telling me that the slope is -2. Slope in math can be represented by the variable m. Very good job. So I am going to take out the m, and I'm going to put in a -2 for my slope. Next thing I'm going to do, I have a y-intercept of 5. Remember, slope is a number that touches the variable x, so this is my slope. Remember, y-intercept is the number that does not touch the variable x. So b is not touching the variable x. So I am going to take 5 and put it in for b. Remember that 5 is a SPY for the pluses. So I took out b, that was my y-intercept, and that's a sloppy b. There we go. I don't want to channel my inner Vikings. Ouch. Y equals -2x plus, here's your SPY, 5 is your y-intercept. This is slope-intercept form because my tornado is all by itself. Pretty easy. Plug in the slope for m, plug in the y-intercept for b. Now keep in mind, if I were to change the problem, let's say that the y-intercept happened to be a -5. If that were the case, then I would have to change my plus here to a minus. Just showing you in case you get a negative number to put in. Alright, next example, BRB. I'm going to ask that you copy down the 4 equations in your spiral. Please copy down the 4 equations in your spiral. And I'm going to ask that you copy the graph on a piece of graph paper. Please copy the graph on a piece of graph paper. Notice that your line is going to cut through the y-axis at 3. So my y-intercept is going to be 3. And this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Your x-intercept is going to be 7.5, or 7.5. So when you make a graph, basically you're going to go up to 3, and you're going to go right to 7.5. So please draw your graph, and then we will work through the problem. Thank you. Alrighty, now that you've copied the 4 equations and drawn your graph on a piece of paper, let's make a couple observations. The question is asking us which equation represents the line shown. Which equation represents the line shown? Well, if you look at my picture, the first thing I can tell is that the y-intercept is 3. The y-intercept is 3, right here. So I'm going to use a little bit of PO. This is a y-intercept of 3. This is a y-intercept of 3. This is not a y-intercept of 3, and this is not a y-intercept of 3. So we're going to use PO, and I want you to cross out C and D on your paper. Now I'm down to two choices. Remember that M, or slope, is also rise over run. It is rise over run. So you might want to label rise on your paper here, and you might want to label run on your paper here. Highlighter, 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 highlighter. Nice. This is a rise of 2. I went down 2 spaces. 1, 2. Although I'm thinking, Mr. Phillips, why don't you put it in blue? Much better. So my rise is going to be 2. My run, I'll zoom in for my visual people. My run is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know that my fraction for my slope has to be 2 over 5. This is not 2, this is not 5, so they must be trying to trick me and have it backwards. This is 2, this is 5. Notice, peeps, this is a negative. I'm thinking that this is a negative slope. Mr. Phillips hates when the roller coaster goes like this. Or you can think of it this way. Your grade was an A, now it's a B, then it's a C, then it's a D, OMG, just like the cubbies there. Your grade is going down, that is a negative slope. Here is my negative sign. Choice A is the best choice. Alright, 2 more examples and we are done. Some nice picks. If you would, please write on your paper, the slope is 8, the y-intercept is -7. I'm going to ask that you write the equation of a line that has a slope of 8 and a y-intercept of -7. So please pause this podcast, try problem number 1 on your own, and then you can check it. Epic fail. What's that look like? That looks like the Vikings when all the snow made the roof fall in because a disappointing season just wasn't enough. Ouch. Alright, you should have on your paper for problem number 1 here, y equals 8x minus 7. How'd I get it? 8 is my slope, so it touches the x. -7 is my y-intercept. There's my -7. Did you get it right? Alright, good job. Let's try this one. The slope is 3/4. The y-intercept is -3. Write me an equation in slope-intercept form for a slope of 3/4 and the y-intercept of -3. Listen, that's the sound of an eagle epically failing. Very nice. Pause the podcast, work the problem out, and then you can start it back up and check your answer. TY. Alright, you should have on your paper y equals 3/4, that's my slope, touching the x, y-intercept of -3. Easy pleasy. Almost as easy as the Cubs losing 101 games this year. Ouch! All right, guys, thanks for watching. Later.